What's up, fuck boys?
Jesus Christ.
That's pretty loud.
And a little inappropriate, don't you think?
Ladies and gentlemen, your host.
With the most.
I wasn't going to say that.
Oh, well,
It's just Trent Davis and Riley Ember
yeah,
coming back at you.
We're just ordinary folk.
We are
Ordinary folk.
very ordinary.
Hey, better be ordinary than stupid.
There are several folks out there that are
Very
stupid.
Stupid, especially in the NASCAR community.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
All-Star, more like Lone Star.
they were in the Lone Star State.
Mm,
Good one.
Yeah.
Good one.
Because I think we're the only two people that watch the race on TV.
I don't know. I'm sure several folks watched it on TV.
They shouldn't have.
I bet you there are several folks that regret watching it on TV.
I do. Well, I watched it on my phone, but it'd be alright.
It do be alright.
That was a shit show.
It was.
And usually on this podcast, we talk about, we shit on a lot of people and shit on a lot of teams. And
Odell Beckham
stuff
Jr.
like, yeah. Oh, Jesus. God, man. More like Amber Heard. But God, you've completely ruined my train of thought here.
We shit on people.
Yes.
Like Amber Heard.
for money. No, like I said, we usually give people a lot of shit on this podcast each week, more than most people. But after this All-Star race, it's not just us. It's everybody. Everybody is shitting on what transpired on the All-Star race on Sunday. So,
Yeah,
we're going to be nice now.
No, yeah, so we're just going to end it there. Have a good night.
Yeah. NASCAR made a great decision. They
Yeah.
did everything right.
Yep.
Go NASCAR.
Good job, boys. Yeah, I mean, it was, number one, it's one thing if you have issues. Like, if you make a mistake, this, that, and the other, then you can fix those. However, you have a bad race and you make mistakes, it's just a recipe for disaster. And the bad thing is the guys on DBC talk about this frequently. You have eyes on your sport in these big events. The All-Star race, still a big event in NASCAR. It's $1 million check being handed out. It's I think it is the highest paying single race in NASCAR.
Other than the Daytona 500, I think.
I think overall, the Daytona 500 probably pays out more for everybody, but I don't think the driver that wins the Daytona 500 gets a $1 million check.
I thought they got like 2-point-something million for winning the Daytona 500.
Yeah, they might. I don't know.
That might be for the whole team, though. You might be right.
Who knows? Because they don't share winnings anymore. But
used to.
Either way, one of the highest paying races, a lot of eyes on the sport, and you have fucking a terrible race, and then at the end of the race, you fuck it up even more by making terrible decisions. So it's just, yeah, it sounds a lot better.
Yeah. Wow.
Sorry for the boys at the beginning of this, because Trent doesn't know how to mix. But
I think you turned it down. You didn't want to hear me.
Yeah, that's what it was. But yeah, I mean, it was awful. The racing was bad. The finish was bad. The open was okay. Qualifying was bad.
Yeah, the qualifying was very.
It was dumb.
Underwhelming.
Yeah, it was very dumb.
You were exciting.
I was excited for it. Yes, I was excited.
Golly, I ain't had nothing to drink either.
No, me either.
We're being good this week. Yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. This was one of the worst races all around, from racing to race control to NASCAR handling situations to TV. It was just it is one of the worst things I've ever seen on TV. Live events I've ever seen on TV, and I've seen some shit in my day. It was just bad race overall, bad event. NASCAR, Fox, everybody has to look at themselves in the mirror. I say this a lot on this podcast. You have to look yourself in the mirror when you fuck up. And I feel like NASCAR a lot of times does not want to. They'll say it, but then they won't do nothing about it. Won't change nothing, won't do anything different, won't try to improve on anything. And that's a big problem that I have with NASCAR.
I will say this. NASCAR did come out and say, hey, the caution, we jumped the gun on. They did admit the fact that they...
How many times have they had to admit they were wrong about something the past couple years?
Fair enough.
That's what I'm saying.
You
can say sorry all you want, but if nothing changes, I don't give a fuck.
I get that, but at least they have this self-awareness to say, hey, we made a mistake. You know, they could have said, no, that's a good caution. We did the right thing there, which would have made them look even worse, in my opinion. Now, I guess we might as well go ahead and explain it to those that didn't see it.
Which I wish I was in your position.
Yeah, me too. So Ryan,
you fell asleep.
Yeah, so I was one of the ones that didn't see it till later. I fell asleep at the end of stage one, so I had to run it back the next day.
Run it back.
But so Ryan Blaney's dominating last part of the race. He's gonna win by like 45 minutes. Ricky Stenhouse
gets loose,
drives up the track a little bit, and gets close to the wall.
He did tap the wall with his right rear.
So he got close to the wall, and NASCAR says, you know what? Even though Ryan Blaney has already taken the white flag, Ricky Stenhouse has no cars around him at all. Everybody's already passed him. The race will be over. There is no chance of more cars.
There were a few cars behind him. Like Eric and Kevin.
There is no chance of cars getting into a wreck with Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
There's not.
Ryan Blaney literally could reach out and touch the flag stand.
Oh, yeah.
And caution lights come on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the thing. In 99.999% of NASCAR races, the race is over.
Yep.
Here's the problem.
In the history of NASCAR, every other race that we've ever raced is over.
This particular all-star race cannot end under caution. So even though Ryan Blaney took the white flag and the caution flag came out with him 100 yards from the start-finish line to get the checkered, the race wasn't over. That's one issue. The second issue is Ryan Blaney didn't know this information, so he puts his window net down and starts celebrating prematurely because the race isn't over.
Yeah.
Then NASCAR gives him like 10 minutes under caution because there's nothing to clean up because there wasn't a...
They had to clean up that massive wreck coming off third, too.
Literally, there was nothing. There wasn't a safety truck on the track. There was nobody out there. And if there was, there shouldn't have been. Because literally, the guy got up close to the wall and kicked some dust up.
He dropped his water bottle. Throw the caution.
So Ryan Blaney's driving around under caution trying to fix his window net situation. And eventually gets it afro-engineered.
This sounds stupider even the more I hear it.
I don't understand how in the hell he got it hooked up there.
I'm proud of him, boy.
But
I know his forearms are going to be burnt.
He got it about 65% of the way up. And NASCAR was like, yeah, I guess that's good enough. Let's drop the rag. So they let Ryan Blaney go back to green.
You could see a big old hole as they were coming to the restart. I'm like, bro, how do you not see that? You could have fit
a fucking 6x6 through there. But he ended up winning the race, which is
Thank
good.
God. I don't care if Kyle Busch was in that situation. I would want Kyle Busch to win that race because he deserved to win it.
Yeah. But, it was just... I'm going to be talking about this event later on in the evening, later on in this broadcast, later on in this podcast.
Broadcast.
So,
we got to take a commercial break. We'll be right back.
I'm going to save what I'm going to say for that
need to say.
Point in time. Just know that there are several people in the running for You Can't Do That this week.
Is there even an attaboy? Do we even have an attaboy? Ryan Blaney.
I have been thinking about it, and no, I do not. I will come up with one in the next 40 minutes, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, it was... I was watching this, and I thought the race was over. Here's the thing that drives me absolutely insane, because, what's his name? David? No.
Starr.
No, the
Blaney.
great Scott Miller. He said on his interview after the race, he's like, race control, he saw a car get a little high, and he didn't even look. He said he just pressed the button. He didn't even look to see he just, like, that is so manufactured, that's not even funny. I don't care if it's an all-star race, non-points race. I'm glad it was the all-star race, not like a points-paying event. Because that
If it
would
was a
have been...
points-paying event, the race would have been over.
Well, if it had happened on, like, coming to the white on a points-paying event, like, that would be egregious as well. Obviously, Ryan Blaney wouldn't have dropped his window. Well, he might have. I don't know. But, so, I'm going to give NASCAR 90% of the blame here for all this tomfoolery that happened at the end of this race.
Why not 100%?
I'm not giving them 100% because, like you said, Ryan Blaney and his crew did not know.
Oh, so you're talking past just the caution.
Yeah, the caution itself is obviously it's all NASCAR's fault, but the whole problem presented, it's 90-10. It's 90% on NASCAR. You can't throw that caution, obviously, especially with that little of what happened. You also, you can't, so NASCAR has always been about, well, recently it's been all about safety.
I wondered if you were going to bring this
And so Ryan Blaney undoes his window net, and because he thought the race, so he thought he crossed, he sees the checkered flag. Okay, he sees the checkered flag, but he also sees the caution lights. But he sees the checkered flag. He's close enough. He's like, we won. You know, there's a part of me that Ryan Blaney and his crew needs to know.
Wait, say that again?
What?
You said he saw the checkered flag?
The checkered flag was waving.
Mm-mm.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Look the replay.
They waved the yellow.
He was coming to the checkered. They had the checkered flag, and he started, and
the flag man waved the yellow.
I don't think
not the yellow and checkered, not the checkered
not
flag.
The yellow and checkered. I'm
you know,
pretty
at the end
sure
if the race ends under caution, you know how they wave both the yellow and the checkered flag? They weren't doing that.
The caution happened so close to him crossing the line. They had the checkered flag in his hand.
They started waving the yellow flag. You'll have to run it back, but yeah, I get what you're saying, but keep going.
Okay, well, I know I saw the checkered flag in the official's hand at least as he's coming to the checker because the caution, he was almost there. So he had to have the checkered flag in his hand. But Ryan Blaney and his crew have to know the rules to this race. Unless they didn't make it clear at the driver's meeting, which I don't know that information.
They did.
They did. Okay, so Ryan Blaney and his crew has to know.
They talked about it. The guys on DBC talked about it.
Okay, they have to know that. So that's a little bit on Ryan Blaney and his crew. But NASCAR, the caution and then the safety aspect. Okay, the window net is not properly secured. And Texas is a pretty fast racetrack, especially in 3 and 4. You're wide open. So you're going, 180?
Probably.
Around there. So it's not like a Martinsville or a New Hampshire. Even New Hampshire gets a little fast. Or a Sonoma, or like a road course or something. Like you're going really fast. Especially with a restart with 2 laps to go for the All-Star race to win $1 million. And you're going to leave Ryan Blaney out there with a window net that's not secure? Are you fucking kidding me? Denny Hamlin said it after the race. He was pissed off because he said, I could have fucking sent him up into the field, and he didn't have his window net secured. That thing comes down, he gets in a big old wreck. Who knows what's going through that car? Sheet metal and everything. That was, I think everything that happened. I think what NASCAR should have done is let him come down pit road and fix the window net and come back out on the track and let him keep his position. Because
I disagree.
Everything was,
I disagree.
I know you're going to disagree. I knew you were, but that's my opinion. I think they shouldn't have just been like, let Ryan try to fix it and be like, okay. Well, first off, it's at night. The trim around his car and everything is black. The window net's black. It's kind of hard to tell when everything's black and it's dark if it's actually secured or not.
No, it isn't.
So,
it's not hard to tell. Everybody in America knew that window net wasn't
on
secure.
TV, yes, but maybe in person it probably was impossible.
You're telling me NASCAR doesn't have access to the TV show that they're shooting, that they're the ones involved in?
I'm not saying they're not, but I don't know. They didn't bring him down pit road.
Yeah, well, that's because they didn't want to.
They didn't want to fuck him over because they knew the caution was bullshit. What happened is they dug themselves a hole with the caution, and then they just dig themselves a bigger hole trying to protect Ryan Blaney.
Yes.
But they could have, They could have dug it a little bit, but not a big old dug. If they would have just let him come
big
down
old Doug.
a big old dug, a big old dug, and let him come down pit road and fix that window net and let him get back out on the track, because safety should be their number one priority. And because how that caution happened, Ryan Blaney should have won the race to begin with. So you should let him come down pit road, let him fix the window net, and let him come back and still be in first.
Here's the problem.
That's my opinion. I know people are going to disagree with me on that, but that's my opinion.
And I don't know if you've listened to DBC yet, but Jeff Burton was on there, and
I'm listening to some of it.
And I'm going to steal everything that he said. All right, because I agree 100%. I was thinking this before I even listened to what he had to say, but I agree with it, and he put it in a lot simpler words than I would have been able to prior. If you think back to Spingate, all right, they let Jeff Gordon get into the playoffs after Spingate. They had a hole that was dug. Granted, it wasn't dug by NASCAR. They had some bullshit that happened, and they said, it is a possibility that Jeff Gordon makes the playoffs without Spingate.
He would have.
You don't know that, though. You can't say for sure.
That's fair.
So NASCAR makes a rash decision to protect Jeff Gordon, because they knew that Jeff Gordon fans and Jeff Gordon and Hendrick were going to be very upset if they didn't allow Jeff Gordon into the playoffs after Richmond. They did the same thing last night, and it was a problem when they let Jeff Gordon into the playoffs, and it's a problem that they let Ryan Blaney win this race. Yes, was the caution bullshit? Yes. Was there a hole dug? Yes. However, it happened. You can't throw away your rules and change the rules because a mistake was made. Two wrongs do not make a right. NASCAR fucked up and threw the caution. That sucks. Ryan Blaney and his team know the rules. You cannot put the window net down until the race is over. They actually tell you not to put the window down until you get on pit road. Now, I understand for the winner it's a little different because they usually get out on the front stretch. But you're not supposed to put the window net down if you are on the racing surface, on the track. If that happens on lap 5, they're bringing Ryan Blaney down. If that happens on lap 100, they're bringing Ryan Blaney down. The only reason that they didn't bring Ryan Blaney down pit road was because it was the last 2 laps of the race, and they didn't want to have the backlash, which they're already getting. They're already getting the backlash for throwing the phantom caution, but they didn't want to make it worse by saying, yeah, we fucked up, but hey, you're going to have to come down and fix this. And they can't let him keep his position because that's a black flag. It's a black flag. If NASCAR tells you, come down pit road and fix your car, you're not getting your position back. It's your fault that you dropped the window net. Yeah, it sucks, but it's your fault that you dropped the window net. You're not getting your position back. Now, if they bring him down pit road and say, oh, shit, it's up, then yeah, they can give him his position back because they brought him down for no reason. They do it at short tracks all the time. It's another thing Jeff Burton said. If you're radioing, hey, the car in fucking front of me is leaking oil, bring him down pit road, and they bring him down pit road and they don't have any issues with their car, they send him back out there and they get their position back. However, if they send him down pit road and they are leaking, they have to fucking fix it, and they don't get their position back. Because it is your responsibility as a team and as a driver to field a car that is within the rules. NASCAR makes the rules. You build the car and bring a car that is up to the rules. Now, if you fuck that up, that's on you. It doesn't matter why you fucked it up, but it's fucked up. NASCAR should have black flagged him the moment he dropped his window net and brought him down pit road and make him put him up and send him to the back. That's what should have happened.
The only thing I disagree with you on is if it happens at lap 5, lap 100, Ryan Blaney's not doing it on purpose. He's doing it on purpose because he thought he won the race.
It doesn't matter. It
does.
It does not matter why the window net is down. The window net, per the rule book, says you will be back black flagged if the race is going and your window net is down. That is what it says in the rule book. It doesn't matter why the window net's down. Doesn't matter if you reached up there and pulled it down. Doesn't matter if you forgot to put it up on the pace lap. Doesn't matter why the window net is down. If the window net is down,
because they knew they fucked up. They just like, it was so close.
That's exactly why.
I
That's
know.
exactly why they paced for 10 minutes, letting him trying to let him fix it.
They didn't
because
know they had their dick in their hands.
they wanted to
They
save
didn't
face.
They didn't want to know what
They wanted to look as
the thing is.
less. They wanted to look a little bit better.
They wanted Ryan Blaney to win the race because what they did.
Mhm.
Which, if I've seen a lot of people saying if Ryan Blaney didn't win that race, it would be outrage. And that's why they did it, because they knew the backlash was already coming for the caution. They're like, if we send Ryan Blaney to the back and let Denny Hamlin win this race, or Daniel Suarez or whoever, it was even going to be even more of a shit show. So that's why they did it. I'm not saying it's right. But NASCAR put Ryan Blaney and his team in that position because of what they did.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
Say it wasn't Ryan Blaney. Say Chris Buescher, he finished 8th. Say Chris Buescher's window net, he dropped his window net because he thought the race was over. You think they give him 10 minutes to fix his window net?
No.
What do? Hey, post 17, he's got to come down and fix his window net. And nobody gives a fuck because he's running 8th.
The difference is the caution was out and he was probably even in 3 and 4. Or not even in, he's going into 3 and 4. He saw caution lights and I don't know if he knew the rule. I don't know how many drivers knew the rule and how many drivers didn't know the rule.
Well, his is the only window net down.
Yes, but he was the only person that crossed the finish line almost like it was a nail biting situation. If he crossed the line and the caution came out at the same time, everybody else was way back there.
Nobody else.
So they saw the caution before they even closely checked the flag.
Everybody knew it was the white flag. Everybody knew that it was a white flag.
Yes, I know, but Ryan Blaney was coming across the line as the caution's coming out.
The caution lights.
It's like
the caution lights were on.
It's like, I see checkered flag of caution. Wait, what? Is it Rover? What's going on?
Yeah. So why do you drop your net if you don't know?
Because his team was like, yeah, you won the race. Yeah, hell yeah. There's, good job, bud. You won him, yeah. And he drops window net, and I think, wait a minute.
Think back to Mark
Martin.
Martin.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, listen, 10% of it's on Ryan Blaney and his crew for not.
No,
it's
50-50, and the only reason it's 50-50 is because NASCAR fucked up by not black flagging him. That's the only reason NASCAR has any fuck. They didn't do anything about the window net. If they would have just thrown the phantom caution and the window net didn't come down, the only thing NASCAR had anything to do with was the caution. But the fact that they did not black flag him, it's 50-50 because they should have. Because a rule was violated and they did not enforce the rule. If it happens on lap 5 and you make that call, you have to make the same call on the last lap. It's no different than in football or hockey or basketball. Listen, let me finish. In every sport, people complain about the officials, whether it's umpires, referees, fucking side judges, whatever they're called in your sport that you watch other than NASCAR. Everybody complains that the referees are not consistent. The penalty that they call on the first, go route in the first quarter of week 1 is not the same as the pass interference that they don't call in the Super Bowl fourth quarter game tied 2 minutes left. They're giving different rules. It's the same rule, but they're calling it different at different points, is what I'm trying to say.
What's up, Highline Nation? Did you enjoy that video? Well, make sure to subscribe to this channel, and if you want the full version of each episode, download the Spotify app and find the Highline and give us a follow, as well as follow us on Instagram for more behind-the-scenes content. Stop beating around the bush.